Hi, I'm Justin from Hire Me Leisure, and this is our 2022 Compass Avantgarde 150. So just in this little door here is where we fill up the diesel and the AdBlue. This is the barbecue point. Just lift up the flap, connect your hose here, and there's where you turn it on and off. This is the freshwater tank drain down tap. Just turn it to drain it, then turn it back the other way to turn it off. Moving on to the gas, here are the two gas bottles. It's refillable. Here is where you refill it. Just open up the cap, and when you're at the petrol station, if it needs to be refilled, just put your hose into there and refit the cap. Now here is where we turn the gas on and off. Now here is where we fill up the fresh water tank. Open up the flap, put your hose in there, and then close the flap when it's full. This is the bike rack. Just push up these bars here, pull down the rack itself, pop your wheels into these long frames here, and these little clips here go through the spokes of the wheel onto the wheel rim, and then pull them tight. Pull these bars down here, these arms, and then they clip onto the crossbars. Just get the toggle, push it through, pull it tight, and then your bikes are secure. Then when you're finished, just push the rack back up again, clip it into position, and pull the arms back down again for travel mode. Now this is where we plug in the mains electrics. If we open up this door here, that's the battery. We shouldn't need to use that. But there is where we plug in the mains electrics. Just grab your lead and open the flap and push it into the electric point. Let the flap go and this will lock it in position. Then drop the lead through the hole in the door. And then close the door. Now let's have a look at the toilet. This is the waste tank for the toilet. Open up the door, and then to empty the tank itself, the waste tank, pull up this orange lever and pull the tank out. Take it to the waste point on the caravan site. Open up this cap here. At the back is a red button. Can you see my thumb on it? Push it, that lets the air in, makes it easier to drain. Put the cap back on again. Tighten it. Then push the waste tank back into the cubby hole and lock it in position. Make sure that the orange handle is down. Close the door. When your wastewater tank is full, this is where we drain it down. Just turn it to open it. It will drain. Then once it's drained, just turn it to close it. Let's turn the electrics on in the motorhome. Top left turns the electrics on and off. That's the water pump switch. This is simply a light switch. This one tells us how full the leisure battery is. The next one, this one, shows us how full the water tank is. This one is just simply a light switch. And this switch here is the awning light on and off. Now let's turn the heating on in the motorhome. Wave your hand in front of it will light the display up. The plus symbol on the right turns the heating up. The minus symbol turns it down. This switch here is to turn the heating on gas. This one is to turn it on mains. Okay. Now let's get hot water on in the motorhome. Wave your hand in front of the display to light it up. On the left hand side, bottom left, this is to turn the hot water on gas. And on the right hand side, this is to turn the hot water on mains. This motorhome has Wi-Fi. Open up this cupboard here. That's the router. And that's the Wi-Fi password. When you're finished with the motorhome, we need to drain the water down. Open up all the taps and then turn this yellow valve to the right. Once it's drained, close it to the left. Just in here is our mains electrics trip switches. The trip switches are at the top, and at the bottom are all the fuses to the motorhome. This motorhome comes with spare fuses and spare bulbs if one was to blow. Just in this cupboard here, open it up, and on the bottom shelf you'll see a box of bulbs and a box of fuses. If you need to use the additional travel seats, just open up this locker on the near side. Under here are two toggle switches. Push them up and then drop down the front. Now to pull the seat up, pull this lever up and push this forward. There's another lever. Pull it up and that pulls the back of the seat upright. Now there's a bit of manipulation now. So we turn this to get it straight. Push it back. Now the seat base, your hand forward and at the back of the seat, we need to pull up until the two hooks at the back of the seat slot into place. Push it down to make sure it's nice and tight. The seat belt is on the back and then you're ready to go. Every window on this motorhome has blinds and fly screens. Just pull down the fly screen in the blind, push it back to clip in position, do the same for the blind, and then to release it, pull it back out, and then it'll automatically go back up into place. This is the cooker, grill and hob. Open up the top glass and push it all the way back. Make sure this is all the way back. Here are the knobs. Select which you're going to use. Turn the knob to full, then push the knob in. Push the igniter and the hob will light. Hold your finger down on the knob for about 5 seconds. Take your finger off and the hob will stay alight. Exactly the same for the grill. And exactly the same for the oven. Turn the knob, push it in, hit the igniter, hold your finger down on the knob, take your finger off, and then turn off when you're finished. Here's the fridge. Push this button here to turn it on. Now the easiest thing to do is just let the fridge work out what mode it needs to be on itself. This is the mode button. It will automatically select which power it can find. So just put it onto auto. If you want to manually select it, then hit the mode button to go onto gas, mains and 12 volts. There's also a temperature switch and that button to turn it back off. In here is the satellite dish. Open up the cupboard and right at the top of this unit here is the on and off switch. Flick it down. Hit this button here in the red circle and the satellite dish will automatically go up and find Astra 2 Sky Television. Now if we go outside, we can actually see the satellite going up automatically and finding the correct satellite. When you leave sight and you're finished with the television, hit this button here and that will close down the satellite dish. Wait for it to go flat onto the roof. Might be worth popping outside to make sure it's flat. And then when you're finished, turn it off on the top switch. This motorhome also has a terrestrial TV aerial. Here's the booster. On the left hand side, there's a switch that turns it on and off. On the front, this turns the boost up and turns it down. We can lift up the aerial to get a better signal. Undo this big white grub screw here. Then push up the aerial. Then at the bottom of this pole is a black handle. If you turn this turns the aerial on the roof to get a better signal. But we can also turn the whole aerial 360 degrees to get a better signal as well. Then once we've found our good signal, just lock the grub screw on. And when we're finished, pull the TV aerial all the way down, tighten up the grub screw and turn off the booster. So we need to use the toilet. Open up the lid. It comes with a toilet seat. Once we've done what we need to do, on the bottom is a grey handle. This puts all the waste into the waste tank outside. It opens and closes. Once you've finished, close the lid. This is a flush button. This gives you flush water, just like your toilet at home. So this is the handle for the awning. Pull the handle out. Then when you're finished with it, clip it back into place. Now to pull the awning out, at the top of the handle, just click it into this round collar here and then turn it, twist it, and then the awning will open. Open it all the way and then pull it slightly back to tension the blind itself. Watch. Pull it back. That tensions the blind. And just inside the front frame here are the legs. Pull the legs out, slide them all the way to the right and to the left hand side. There's two legs. Keep pushing. And then click them into position. Now to pull the leg down, pull the collar up. Pull the leg down to the height desired and then push that clip down and it locks it in position. Do exactly the same to the left hand side as well. Just a word of advice. If you're using the hot water and heating and a warning symbol comes up, it just needs resetting. Push your finger down on the bottom button until the symbol disappears.